What motivates you? That's what people want to know. Like, how do I get motivated, right? Because they want to be motivated to work more, achieve more, live a bigger life. It all requires some sort of motivation. You have to have a motive, to get out of bed and work the day or go and achieve things for the day, for the week, for the month. You want to be motivated. So people have this obsession, which is a great obsession to have, is what motivates me? My question to you is, what motivates you? And I happened to just do an event with Tai Lopez on Sunday here in Sydney. Well, we're not here in Sydney, we're on the Gold Coast, but we were in Sydney just 2 days ago. On Sunday, there's about 400 of us in the room. We hosted an event with Tai Lopez. And what was great about hosting an event with Tai Lopez was not only getting to meet his team and working with him, but the most important thing was listening to him on the day do his newest talk, right? And so it's 2024, it's March, his latest talk, and he spoke about marketing, basically conscious marketing, subconscious marketing, unconscious marketing. But what I loved about his talk the most was his 4Ms on motivation. And I want to share with you what I learned from Tai on Sunday at our event. And it's these 4Ms, right? We'll all be motivated by one of these or multiple of these 4Ms, but we'll be driven by one singular one. So I'll explain what they are, and I'll explain the questions he asked a member of the audience at our event on Sunday that actually unpacked what motivates her. And it's really cool. The 4Ms of motivation are: number one, you'll either be motivated by mating, pretty straightforward one. If we weren't motivated by that, we wouldn't be a species. The second thing is material, right? So money, things that you can do with money. The third thing is mastery. Okay, so that's like status and mastery, mastering something. And the fourth one is movement, and movement means freedom to move around. So they're the 4 key M's, the 4 reasons or the 4 motivators of humans. He asked this girl, he said, I could ask anyone in the audience a few questions and I can tell you what motivates you the most. He's like, cool, I'll be the volunteer. So he says, all right, the first question is this: if you could have $1 billion, but you're not allowed to have a relationship with anyone for the next 15 years, you're not allowed to have a close friendship, platonic or otherwise, or certainly a romantic relationship, you're not allowed to mate, of course. You can't have any sexual relationships with anyone for 15 years. What would you choose? And she said, I'd take the money, right? So he said, hey, straight away, you're not motivated by mating and relationships, you're motivated by material, okay, money. And she's like, oh, and she was trying to justify like, oh yeah, but people can change, right? He says, don't worry about it. Like, it's okay to be motivated by these different things. Not everyone's gonna be the same. You be you, right? If you're motivated by material, how do you leverage that? How do you take advantage of that to drive the motivation in you? And he said, now my next question is this: if you could then, so he wanted to figure out what her main motivator was. Was it material, or was it one of the other 2 M's? So it certainly wasn't mating. He said, so you could have this choice. My next question is, you could have the $1 billion, but you got to stay around your own suburb, your own little locale. You can't leave your town, you can't go anywhere. You're isolated within a small radius, but you can have the money, but you can't move anywhere for 15 years. What would you choose? And she said, I'd choose movement. He said straight away, well, you're more motivated by movement than material, and more motivated by material than mating. So he said straight away, okay, I know you're more motivated by movement than even money. She's like, okay, thank God. Like, she was, trying to figure out where she kind of lay for society to judge her. So he then said, my final question is this: if you could be the master of anything, you get $1 billion and be the master and be masterful and have high status and have fame and have the money and everything like that, but you couldn't move anywhere, like you couldn't go anywhere, what would you choose? And she said, movement. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to move. So he said straight away, you're more motivated by movement than you are by mastery and status. It was those 3 questions he asked her that really drilled down what her primary M was, her primary motivation was. And it's freedom, right? So the takeaway from that is, well, how does she use that now to generate the motivation to achieve things? So if you're looking to build a business, you need motivation. What are some of the things you can do for movement? Where can you travel to? That's going to be a main driver for how hard you work. Okay, so those types of people are motivated by traveling based on their success. And I got a good buddy of mine, he's a business partner, and he's totally motivated by movement, having flexibility. And I know that drove him to build a multi-million-dollar business at the age of 23. And so you think about how can you leverage that, right? And so that's where this comes in handy. For me personally, how it rolls into my sphere is, when I was single, it was all about mating. If we're all single, it's all about mating. And there's a lot of psychologists that suggest that everything is motivated by mating. But if you already have that, you have a partner, then it's about what does motivate you. And for me, it was movement too, because I didn't want to be confined to an office. I want to be able to come out here on a Tuesday and have flexibility to work where I wanted to work. So I was highly motivated by movement, more so than material and money, because I actually ejected out of my 9 to 5 because I was getting paid pretty well, but I couldn't move anywhere. So I was actually more motivated by movement than material. And beyond that, once you achieve the mating, once you have a life partner, I'm married 7-8 years now to a beautiful wife who I love. So it's like, I've ticked that. I'm good with the mating. The second thing is I'm good now with movement because I've built a business or multiple businesses in a life that gives me freedom and flexibility. So that's tick. The next one is I was motivated by money initially, but only to give me the movement. And then beyond that, I'm actually motivated by mastery. So if I could take money or be known as a master, I would take mastery because I feel it's a better legacy than money, because money dissipates and it dies over many generations. But mastery and leaving a legacy of impact and education education, it lasts forever. The last thing I'm now probably motivated by is material and money. I'm more motivated by mastery because I've ticked the other 2 boxes. So for you got to figure out, where do you sit in the 4 M's that Tai Lopez talks about? Which one are you? Which one can you really safely say? If you answer those questions that I share with you, which one drives you and how can you leverage that? Because if you get up every single day and you think about that 1 M that drives you, and you think about the things you can do to achieve that, it's going to give you this internal motivation that's going to actually help you achieve more with your life. Because not everyone's motivated by a Lambo. Not everyone's motivated by, the freedom. Not everyone's motivated by even relationships, obviously. My question is, which one motivates you and what are you going to do about it? How are you going to leverage that to achieve more? Leave in the comments the 1 M that motivates you the most, and hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying this, and go check out all my other videos about financial education and living a kick-ass life. Talk to you soon.